let's revisit the bottle cap, the iron bottle cap, and the Canadian coin dilemma. So the Canadian coins for the last 20 years or so have been all, the quarter, the nickel, and the dime have been nickel-plated steel. So it's iron, it's an iron core in there. And when those coins are left in the ground, or left in the salt water, if they're in the salt water, they're pretty much just toast after the first year. They're just unspendable. But if those coins are in the ground for a while they just corrode from the inside out and just explode and turn to dust. You're just not spendable money. So you got to ask yourself, is it really worth going for these coins that you won't be able to spend, and these bottle caps that are worth nothing? Well, the whole thing with the bottle caps is I dig out the bottle caps, you know. When I swing over a bottle cap, most, like 99.99% of bottle caps that I swing over with the Deus 1, doesn't matter how deep it is, if it's on its edge, instantly, one swing over, I don't have to go twice, one swing over it, I know it's a bottle cap. And because I just know because I dig up the bottle caps, because they mask a lot of targets in the hot spots. You know, if you look at the most beat up spots, like in your parks or whatnot, you go to the most beat up spots in your parks. Do you find bottle caps in the beat up spots? No, you don't, because the people who know about that area, they're digging out the bottle caps and they're unmasking targets. And so the Deus 1 is really good at identifying and giving you that certain tone for that bottle cap. Pretty much the best in the industry. I don't have any other machines that just instantly, I know it's a bottle cap. A lot of other machines reject them, especially the concentric coils or the lower frequencies. I'll show you that here in a minute. The lower frequencies reject bottle caps and reject the iron coins. And the higher frequencies will hit on the coins and the bottle caps a lot better. With all machines, look at my tests with the Legend, with the Deus 2, with the with a lot of other machines, with the Simplex, with the Amphibio, a lot of other machines. So the higher frequencies is really going to get you these iron core coins if you really want them. I mean, you really have to decide. I mean, do you really want to be digging up junk coins, or you want to be digging up copper coins? I have some copper coins here from the US, a quarter and a dime. And yes, some older Canadian coins are silver and copper and whatnot, but this is just the modern stuff, and the modern stuff is going to mask targets. You know, like this quarter right here, you know, this is a 10-year-old quarter. How deep is this going to go before it really starts corroding and just dissolving into the ground? Because it's iron, right? It's going to rust, and it's going to be worth nothing in a few years in the ground. So this bottle cap too, but I still dig the bottle caps out, right? Because they just mask so many targets. So I'm just going to turn the detector on here, and I'm going to start with the X35 coil. So it's different. Each one of these coils responds differently to these coins and at different frequencies, right? Because they're different frequency coils here. The X35 coil, this is the 9-inch here. I'm just going to do the hot program, because the only way to get that identification with these bottle caps here with one swing is high frequency in full tones. The pitch tones, the 2, 3, 4, 5 tones is not going to give you that identifying, that clicking, grinding action. I'll show you here. So this is the stock hot program, 17 kilohertz with the X35 coil. Okay, there's a dime, quarter, a nickel, and 3 bottle caps. So here's a dime. Rejects the dime. Bottle cap. Bottle cap. Bottle cap. Now here's that quarter right here. Sounds very similar to that bottle cap right there, right? Giving the same clicking action. Now here's the nickel right here. Rejects it. Now I'll sweep over, that dime right there, US dime and a US quarter, and I'll be right next to a bottle cap. Now listen to it. Here's a quarter. It's grinding. It's grinding action. Over the quarter, over the Canadian quarter. Here's the US quarter. It's really clean, right? And that goes for the deeper targets too. This coil goes deep on copper coins. I'm at 17 kilohertz, so I'm right in the middle range of here, right? And what I can do is I can just go up to higher frequency. I'll try the lower frequency first. Go down to the lower frequency. And I'll just reject all this stuff, right? Except for the bottle caps. The bottle caps, really, no way to get rid of the bottle caps with the X35 coils. Here's the nickel. Rejects it, even from far away. Here's a dime. Rejects it. Here's a quarter. Rejects it. The lower frequencies on all my machines, they reject these coins here. And on my other machines too, the lower frequencies, even the multi-frequency machines, the lower frequency, weighted towards the lower frequencies, it hits on bottle caps really good. It's really hard to reject those bottle caps, to hear the tones of the bottle cap. Even on the Deus 2, the Legend, right? Right. Listen to that dime there. That's a US dime right there. Now it makes it sound irony because I'm next to that coin, I'm next to iron right there. Now watch, I'll go up to the higher frequency, 25 kilohertz. Listen to the coin there. The nickel, it sounds irony. But it sounds just like that bottle cap, so you can't tell the difference. Now listen to the quarter and the bottle cap. Irony. They sound identical, right? And pitch tones, 2, 3, 4, 5 tones is even worse. You just can't tell. You have to work your coil on the edges and stuff. I like the HF coils, but I can tell instantly right when I swing over a bottle cap, I know it's a bottle cap. But I know if it's a bottle cap, but I can't discern the quarter and the bottle cap. They're the same tone. Let's try this other bottle cap here. All right. Let's try this dime. It's not hitting it very good. Bottle cap, a quarter here. Nice and clean tones. Those copper coins are clean tones. I'll even move this bottle cap over here. All I hear is that coin there. But they sound fairly close to that, bottle cap there. So I'll show you the power of the HF coils. And they're different. They're different, man. They're different. The high frequency just doesn't. It's just amazing. The high frequency, man. Oh, shoot. Come on. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Right. I'll go to the 9-inch right now. The 9-inch coil. Need to look how many more minutes I have left here. I'm kind of rambling on here a little bit. Okay. Kind of gauge how much time I have left here. Speed it up a little bit here. So the HF coils are 14, 31, and 54 or 74. Right. And this with the same settings here. Hot program here. This is 14 kilohertz. Kind of rejects it, the quarter there, the Canadian quarter. Rejects the dime completely, right? No matter how far you are away from it. And these targets respond differently when they're in the ground, but this is just a demonstration here, right? Here's nickel. Iron core nickel here. Just rejects it. A lot of machines do the same exact thing right here. They just reject those coins there. Right. I know that's a bottle cap. I know that's a bottle cap just by the tone of that, right? What? Listen to the copper coin. A little bit. This coil here at these coils here at lower frequencies, I really don't prefer these HF coils at lower frequencies. They're really how to get them to perform really good is in the mid or high frequencies. Copper coin, copper coin, bottle cap. So watch what happens when I go to the mid frequency here, 31. I can hit that nickel a lot better. It's an iron cord coin there. Here's a dime. A lot cleaner. Here's the quarter. Scoot this out over here. Steel cord coin. They sound exactly the same, right? The bottle cap and the coins, the steel cord coins sound exactly the same. Listen to the look how clean it is. Bottle cap. The bottle caps give a little bit of a clicking action compared to the copper coins, bottle caps and the steel coins. I'm in 54 kilohertz here, right? But they just sound so similar, right? They sound so similar. Both of them sound like they have a grinding action to them, right? And now I'll change this coil here, and I'll go to the HF elliptical coil. High frequency. I'll start out in 14 kilohertz to start with, okay? But don't go out and rush and buy a Deus until you know quite a bit more about it. You know, these coils do different things, and the frequencies are really going to make a difference. You know, you have disadvantages when you're in higher frequencies. It's depth. On these copper coins here, these coils in the higher frequencies are not going to go very deep. And it really matters what your soil is like. It really matters on what your soil is like for what frequency you're going to be able to use. And the conditions of the soil. You know, the higher frequencies really don't like wet soil. 14 kilohertz, HF elliptical coil, rejects that target there. Right. Rejects the Canadian coins. Rejects them. The bottle caps, I know that's a bottle cap. I know that's a bottle cap cone. Here's a coin, right? Copper. Smacking it. Sounds really clean. The other copper coins. Now I'll go to 31 kilohertz. All three of those steel coins give me a high tone. But same with the bottle cap. So when you're in the higher frequencies, pretty much most of the copper coins are going to give you the same tone. When I'm in full tones, I'm talking about full tones here. And also the bottle caps and the steel coins sound the same. I'll go up, this is 74 kilohertz. Here's 31 kilohertz. It's grinding. $74 kilohertz. This no, I was just in 74 kilohertz the last time I just tested it in 74 kilohertz. I didn't know I was in 74 kilohertz. This is how clean it is. Listen to the grinding, the clicking. Listen to it. The coins sounds much cleaner. Now watch. Oh, get these bottle caps over here. Listen to the grinding. The grinding. Now listen to the coins. They're too close together. The coins sound a lot different than the bottle caps do. Only in 74 kilohertz, so you must remember this. 74 kilohertz on this machine is not going to go very deep. You're not putting very much coil power to that coil with 74 kilohertz, so it's not going to be going very deep on the copper coins. So ask yourself, why do you want to dig out those steel coins anyway? They're really not worth anything. And once they've been in the ground, they're just roached, right? They're just goners. Once they've been in the ground for a couple years, they're goners. And so I dig out the bottle caps, and I do find steel Canadian coins every once in a while. I live in Oregon. You know, that's not our currency. Our currency is U.S. coins. Luckily, I'm very fortunate that we don't have steel coins in my country. But we do have zinc coins, which are pretty much just worthless anyway. The zinc coins, the zinc pennies. But the quarters and the nickels and the dimes are still copper. But, you know, they're still really not worth much. I want to find I'm a jewelry hunter, so those bottle caps are going to mask targets. Like I said, you go to a really beat up parks and whatnot, and the hot spots that you find a lot of jewelry don't have bottle caps in them, because the people who really know how to beat a spot up, they're getting the bottle caps out. That's the first thing that comes out, right? The bottle caps, because they're the biggest maskers, right? They're the biggest maskers of coins and jewelry, straight up. There's no other maskers in parks that are worse than bottle caps, because they're always being deposited. You know, not really a lot of nails are being deposited in the parks, right? It's bottle caps. The modern stuff is what you're going to have the biggest problems with, and the bottle caps are a problem with most detectors. But with this coil right here, the HF elliptical coil, you look at my videos, you know, I've dug out thousands of bottle caps in my videos, and with the Deus 1 HF coil, just instantly I call it bottle cap, bottle cap, bottle cap. I call them before I dig them, pretty much most of the time. And the whole trick is having zero discrimination or minus discrimination with this coil here. If you start discriminating, hear me out, if you start discriminating that iron out, those bottle caps will sound really freaking good. Just like odd shaped piece of iron. If you discriminate out iron, if you discriminate out the iron range, you don't have the iron to let you know that it's iron, the iron audio to let you know that it's iron. So there we go. Bottle cap, Canadian coin dilemma.